Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe that's pretty old. It's from my home ec class, and I don't know, 7th, 8th, or ninth grade. I think 8th, not sure. Anyway, this is how old it is and how often it's been used. Can you see that? And then it has all kinds of stuff on it, and then I was able to see it good enough to go over it with pencil. And then my son was kind enough to print me a copy of it. It came out pretty good. And then I doubled the recipe because this starts off using a half an egg. I remember that in school. Why'd they have us use a half an egg? Because then what do you do with the other half? So I just increased double the recipe and used the whole egg. But I used to make these for my father all the time. They're called surprise muffins. And he loved them because there's a little bit of jelly in the center. So that's what I'm going to make. And you can watch them follow along. Technically, according to the paper, you're supposed to grease your muffin pans. You don't have to flour them, just grease them. But I put in cupcake papers because it's easier and cuter, and then I don't have so much to wash up. But set your oven to 400 degrees. That's another thing. So set your oven to 400. Grease your muffin pans if you want to. This should make about 12 cupcakes. And then what I do after I fill these in is I spray them with Pam, or, a cooking spray. I'm going to walk away for a minute. I always spray these over the kitchen sink because I don't want this all over my counter. So just spray your cupcakes. Okay, we're good. Alright, so we're going to do our dry ingredients first. So we need, let me see, 1.5 cups of flour. Okay, so we got 1.5 cups of flour. Oh, a mess already. Okay, so there's our flour. Cover that back up. And 1/2 cup of sugar. There's 1/2 cup of sugar. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I always crumble this up. There's 1. Because of the hardened pieces. 2. Yeah, I used to make these so much, I don't really need to use the recipe. But it actually is always perfect when you make the recipe. But 1/2 teaspoon of salt. No. All my salt. Get some rice in there. My little salt shaker hardened up, and because it's been so moist and I didn't have rice in it, I don't know if you ever heard, put rice in it, it absorbs the moisture and then the salt doesn't harden. But anyway, I didn't have it in there, and so the lid rusted, and I opened it up, the rust got in the salt, I just threw that out. Okay, got that mixed up. Now we're going to do our wet ingredients. So I need an egg. So I'm going to use a brown egg. I like these, they're organic. I like to help the chickens out and the chicken farmers. Okay, so here's our egg. These are pretty good. They don't have those white things on the side so much. Wash my hands. Okay, so egg. See, I had everything set out just a minute ago. half cup of milk. I'm using half and half because I don't have any milk. Anything will work. It's good. And, oops, I probably need to, but I'll guesstimate this one. And, oh, it's just a 1/4 cup of oil. That's what I always do. I always put too much oil in it. 1/4 cup of oil. Okay. Through the oil. Okay. Just mix that up. Whisk it. Oh. Okay, that's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get yourself a spoon. Yeah, get 2 spoons. One's for the jelly. So you're gonna put, this might not even make 12. I hope I did everything right. Anyway, we'll see. Just put about a spoonful in. At your bottom, put a spoonful in each one of these. I don't know, that'll probably be about a tablespoon, I suppose. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, this doesn't look like I have enough liquid in it, but it could just be that I haven't made the actual recipe for so long. I have another muffin recipe I'm gonna do. It's delicious. A woman gave it to me after she gave me some of her. She made some, you can make zucchini bread, banana bread, whatever with it. Or just plain muffins, and it's delicious. Okay, so I got 12. Just make sure it covers the bottom. Do me a favor and pick out 2 jellies. I forgot that there's, I think, apricot and maybe strawberry. My son's here helping me out, so I'm going to pick out the jelly to put in here. You just want the bottoms to be covered. Okay. Okay, so I have red raspberry jam here, Smucker's, and I love red raspberry. My mom always made homemade jelly. It was delicious, but she's not here no more, so I'm just gonna use, just put a spoon, little, like maybe a teaspoon. I think I put too much in that one, but that's okay, because we'll see. But just put a little bit of jelly in, like I said, maybe about a teaspoon. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to put jelly in all of them because I personally I love muffins. And I just like them with nothing. What else you can do is chop up some bananas, put it in. Anything you can do with muffins, which we all know, blueberries, bananas, nuts. I'm going to leave the last one. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to put the top on. So just take up a little bit and cover them. This is where it would be nice if this batter were a little bit thicker. I mean, runnier, so it would cover them better. But it's okay. That's why it's nice, too, to have them in these cupcake cup papers, because they come out nice and it really doesn't matter. This is the boring part. Yep, 8th grade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 8th grade home ec. Okay, so what's happening here is I don't have enough for 12. It's a good thing I only put jelly on 9 of them because I'm running out of batter. And that must mean I put too much in, but you're going to see that's really didn't. Okay. That's okay, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to put half in here and half, so now I only have 2 regular muffins. I'm going to try and scrape some more batter out. Not that much. Let's see which one needs it. Actually, that one could use some. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Okay, so we put them in the oven for, doesn't even say, but I'll say 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'm going to check them at 15 minutes and go from there. So your oven's at 400, put them inside, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, it's time to check them. I checked them at 15 minutes and they were not done. And I probably delayed 2 minutes, so anyway, I checked them another 5 minutes, so we've got at least 20 to 22 minutes, and they're done. So we'll take them out of the oven. Let you see what they look like. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that? They look pretty good. And I wanted to tell you, I didn't read the recipe because I was just looking at the measurements, but you're supposed to sift the flour, then measure it. That would explain why this wasn't as runny as I remember, but we'll see what happens. We're still going to eat them. They're not going to go to waste. In fact, my daughter is going to get ready and run some out to my dad. He lives about 15 minutes away, but while they're hot, you might as well eat them. He's 91, by the way, so it's not really, it's an effort to run out there, but you feel good because he might not be here tomorrow. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I want to try one of these, but they're so hot, and especially with the jelly. You know the insides are really hot with the jelly. I'm just going to rip one apart so you can see what it looks like. See? Looks real. This one came out really nice. Just a little bit of jelly on the side coming through, but it filled out nice. And I'll rip it open. This is going to be really hot. Not too much jelly in that one, but that's perfect actually. See that? Whoop. Don't worry. It's going to get eaten by me. Yeah, these came out pretty good. So just remember to sift your flour. I'll make another batch and sift mine. And if you want to, like and subscribe and hit your little notification bell. And I'm going to round up another recipe for you, and I'll see you again. Okay, have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.